Hello, everybody. Welcome to Underwhelming Expectations, the podcast where we talk about pretty much anything. And I would like to open this episode by talking about the launch of the PS5.
Man, you want to talk about that now?
I do, because I have a lot to talk about.
Wait.
Well, if you want to talk about something else first, then we can definitely do that. But
hold on. Well, that's the nitty gritty, man. I don't want it to be the whole thing. There's some other stuff to talk about.
All right, let's open with something lighthearted then.
Okay. In recent news,
yeah, okay.
Carlos Santana has done a cover of John Lennon's "Imagine." And it's pretty rockin'. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty rockin'.
It's pretty rockin'. It's a thumbs up. I heard it earlier today on the radio.
On the radio?
On one of those things. You ever listen to those?
Yeah. What the fuck is that again?
It's the thing where tiny people inside of it play music for you.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, I was listening to an interview with him. Dude, he is so chill, dude. Carlos Santana is such a spiritually balanced person.
I think you would have to be when you write the music he writes. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have any songs that are you fucking hear them and you
just vibe.
Pumped out. You're pumped when you listen to it. It's mainly just vibe music.
It's a lot of it's fucking vibe music. I didn't realize. I've never actually seen interviews with Carlos Santana before, but he's super fucking chill and super down to earth, dude.
He's a chiller, dude. He's a mega chiller.
He's like the fucking guy I aspire to be. Or he kind of reminds me of my grandpa in a way.
Was your grandpa also a mega chiller?
He was a mega chiller, dude. Super mega chiller. Yeah, he's bought me fucking video games before without my parents noticing. He also used to sign. Do you remember in elementary schools when if you have a bad day, then they'll give you a stamp and you have to get it signed by your parents or some shit like that? You know what I'm talking about?
Mean a bad day you did something stupid?
Yeah, and they want your parents to go review your planner and shit.
When I was
he
in the
would sign those for me and he wouldn't tell my parents.
Hell yeah. I said fuck one time in the second grade.
Fuck.
No, it was
wait. It's more like fuck.
Yeah, sort of. No. It was I was in Spanish class, right? And which was mandatory at the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just fucking chilling. I'm in second grade. I'm fucking doing the damn thing. My buddy right next to me, unprompted, turns to me and says, Hey, you know what word you should never say? And of course I'm intrigued, right? The only swear word I had ever heard and known was a bad word was damn. And damn. So I didn't know about any of this other bullshit. So he goes, Hey, you know what word you should never say? And I'm like, what? And he's like, F-U-C-K. And I'm sounding it out in my head, and it's quiet in the class. So I'm like, fuck? And then the Spanish teacher just looks up from her desk, right at me and just goes, Is there a problem? And I'm like, no. And she's like, come with me. So she fucking takes me to my my homeroom teacher, and then I fucking immediately get sent to the office. Damn. It was so quick. Got sent to the office.
What about your parents? What did your parents do?
They called my parents, and my dad picked me up from school that day. Normally we walk. Me and my brother would walk home from school every day. Yeah. Because we just live so fucking close. But yeah, my dad picked me up that day, and he lectured me about. I'm pretty sure I got spanked when I got home, but in the car he was pretty calm when he was telling me that.
They call your dad and they're like, Mr. McKenna, your son Parker said no. He just said, a curse word, the F word, and your dad's like, well, fuck, okay, all right.
My dad's like, who fucking care? I don't give a shit.
Shut the fuck up. Like, get him back in class.
Just hangs up on him. No, when we got in the car, he was pretty mellow about it. He was more like, hey, there are words that we shouldn't say, or you should never say. And he's like, dude, that's one of them. And I didn't ask about the other words.
I remember the first time I ever called somebody fugly.
Fugly?
Fugly.
Damn.
I called my sister Fugly at
the
dinner table. And they completely glossed over
it. Oh, no.
I didn't get my ass hammered for that one.
They probably
But then this
didn't.
other time,
Yeah.
this other time I called my sister a fucking bitch, and then they hammered me for that.
Of course. I mean, that one's obvious. Fugly is like, that's like a swear word that's masked under not swear word, because maybe they heard you say like ugly, or maybe I don't know, they probably just didn't know the context of the word and like where it comes from, I guess.
Damn bitch, you fugly.
Damn bitch, you fugly as hell.
You fuck. Damn bitch, you live like this.
I love that man, dude. Just fucking. It's just Max. Damn bitch, you live like this, or shit's like all fucked.
with my Thrasher T-shirt. Okay, well,
that's funny.
We can get into all your, because I know you took an amount of notes.
I did. I took.
About
did I send you
PS5?
Did I send you like the picture of the notes that I took?
No, you didn't.
Okay, because I took literally as soon as it started, I just opened up a notepad and I wrote down every game that was shown, who develops the game, when it's coming out, and my opinion on it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go super in depth with this shit, mainly so I can
we can
mainly so I can just remember, you know, like all this shit that, because I think I have a terrible habit of whenever something gets advertised.
There's really only like 5 things that I really want to talk about, but we can lightly talk about it because everything was interesting.
Yes.
But there's 5 things that to me were the stick out shit.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'll gloss over some of the stuff that I cared less for, and then if that was one of your things, then we can talk more about it, because I took notes on everything, so I remember what each one was. Yeah. But let's see. So they started. First of all, can we talk about why big companies still stream on fucking YouTube? Why is that?
They haven't gone with the times. That's why they don't seem to understand.
It's fucking heinous. Like, I was browsing Twitch for like 10 minutes, and I saw Trihex's channel streaming it, and I was in that for a little bit, but then I realized that he was streaming 2 hours before the shit even started.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what the? There's no fucking. He was just talking about like why the fucking the dude in charge of PS4 or whatever, PlayStation, is like a god, just all this shit. And I was like, what? I don't care. So fucking,
I got to the ass end of Lyric's stream,
right,
where he had like the JPEGs and like the different shots of like the actual console and shit.
Yeah.
And he's just talking about him, and then he does the same thing he always does, which he gets hungry and then starts talking about food instead.
True.
So
I mean, that's everything.
Lyric Stream 101, the lyric stream experience.
Okay, so yeah, it's fucked that they stream on YouTube instead of Twitch. Anyway, so they open it up, right? The first thing that they open with is just the Rockstar logo. So of course everyone in the chat is freaking the fuck out because they're like, no way,
oh my God,
it's fucking GTA 6.
It's
Holy
fucking
shit. What the fuck?
It's GTA.
Yeah, you could just hear the excitement coming from everybody.
We're going back to San Andreas, dude. Oh my God.
And then you see like video shots of Michael and fucking Trevor from GTA 5, and then like the excitement died down wholly. But they showed like a lot of fucking a lot of gameplay and shit, and they had a whole new slew of things added to the game. And they played like a solid fucking 2 to 3 minutes of footage from GTA 5.
It's so fucking lazy, though, dude.
It is. I agree.
This game has existed. It's going to exist on 3 generations of consoles.
Yes.
From Xbox 360 to Xbox One X to the new one, and then PS4. It was on PS3, PS4, and PS5. Let it fucking go. Yeah. Make a new one, please.
Well, I think it's just because they got really wrapped up with Red Dead that they wanted to spend more time on their other flagship game, I guess.
Well, yeah, that fucking Red Dead is dead in the water, dude. I haven't touched that online in forever. There's nothing there for me left.
I think Rockstar just needs a refocus of what their community want. I'm sure they know, right? I'm sure they fucking know exactly what everybody wants. They all know that fucking GTA 6 is the thing that everybody wants, but as we've fucking seen in the past, they're very lazy when it comes to actually executing on those things. And when they do, I mean, it usually delivers within, it meets expectations usually, but you'll find that as time progresses,
So let me put this into perspective, okay? So I know I say that it lasts through 3 generations of consoles, right? But just to put it in perspective for those that are watching that are like, yeah, whatever, it's just 3 generations, not a big deal. That game's initial release came out in 2013,
Yep.
dude. 2013, GTA 5
7
came
years.
out. I had the day 1 copy of that game on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
That's it's fucking abysmal how fucking long ago that was and how this game is still fucking alive. I mean, to be honest with you, sure, cool, GTA 5 is still alive, but Rockstar should be at the point where they should be wanting to move on to something else, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Red Dead was that thing, but they released it within the time span of keeping GTA 5 alive, and they cared so much about that they just completely fucking put Red Dead on the back burner, which sucks because they're treating it worse than they did the first Red Dead. And the first Red Dead's anniversary was like 2 months ago. It's 10-year anniversary, dude.
Holy shit.
Like, yeah, 10 years, dude. But they need to fucking... I'm so sick of it, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate the GTA Online community.
Oh, me too. I hate it too.
I don't like those motherfuckers at all. They have the dumbest fucking names. They're really fucking annoying. They want to ruin everybody's fun. They don't want anybody to play the game with them at all.
Right.
They just want to fucking break everything.
Well, I mean, I think that's
the
just the inherent. I think that's the inherent nature of anarchy style multiplayer, where you have the ability to just kind of do whatever you want, and the only real escape from that is like when you go to a mission or something.
Yeah.
But other
also,
than that,
it's
open world.
The online leveling system too. How the fuck is me, a little level 1, gonna stack up to a fucking level 500, whatever the fuck it is now?
Yeah, they all
Like,
get
there
like
is-
free range. There's no level compensation or equalization.
There is no level cap. There is no cap on money. There is no cap on anything. It just goes and goes. It's fucking tiring, and it's really disappointing.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by the fact that they're actually putting GTA 5 on PS5. It is repetitive as fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, especially because you consider games like you could make the argument, oh, well, you know, Kingdom Hearts had that release took fucking ages too, over 10 years, and you're right, but also you have to realize that Square was also releasing like a new fucking Final Fantasy once every 2 years or once every year. So they were working on other fucking games, but
yeah,
you have Rockstar.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay with the new one, but 3 generations of consoles?
Yeah.
Dude, the only thing that made me excited for GTA 5 after the initial playthrough of the single player was the fact that they were bringing back my boy Gay Tony. That's it. That's it.
The expansions don't excite you at all?
No, none of it fucking excites me, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, give a fuck about it.
It's honestly kind of like new toy syndrome. Like, there's something new that comes out, and it's fun for maybe a couple weeks, and then it stops being fun anymore, so they just keep wanting to layer over more things with new toys, but I think they can't realize that the community is not wanting that. They want something like something that will last. A new car isn't gonna fucking last me 2 weeks of entertainment, dude.
If they were like Saints Row and they would let me adjust the titty size of my character, maybe
or
I'd
how
be
big
more
his fucking
invested
dick
into
is.
it. Yeah.
You can see the dick print.
Why oh, well, not to get off track here, but a while ago, this went under the radar. Nobody talked about it. It really upset me. But the Saints Row the Third remaster.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was thoroughly pleased with the way it looked and the way that it played.
I think Saints Row is a pretty underrated game for the...
I like Saints Row more than GTA, dude. I'm on
year.
that side.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Saints Row's
anyways, next one.
Yeah, so just last touching points for GTA. It's free at launch for PS5 if you owned it previously on the PS4. So, you know, there's that, I guess, bonus points. So the next thing that they talked about was the new, I guess it's not really new, the Spider-Man expansion.
Ah, yes, the Miles Morales.
Coming out this year, by the way.
I was reading an article on it. So originally, whoever they had interviewed for whoever was in charge of this had previously said that it was a continuation of the last year's Spider-Man game.
Yes, it's an expansion.
But what it actually is, it's a standalone.
Is it really?
It's a standalone. It's like, you remember when Infamous Last Son? Second Son came out.
Yeah.
And then there was First Light. First Light is also within the same story because it's about that girl, but it was a standalone. You didn't need the full game to play it. That's what this is. I don't know if it's going to be as big or as long as the original Spider-Man was, but regardless of that, I'm still going to play it because I really do like Miles.
Oh yeah, dude. I think he's one of the best fucking. Yeah, I think he's probably the best. He has the best personality.
I like Miles way better than Peter, dude. Peter is such a massive fucking pussy.
Are you talking about in the like
in every
universe?
Universe? I don't like Peter Parker that much, dude. I mean, my favorite Spider-Man is Spider-Man 2033. He's super sick and he's a badass. He's like this. He's like anti-hero-esque. He's like Scarlet Spider and just normal Spider-Man at the same time. Yeah. But I'm a huge fan of him because I don't know if you remember this, but way back in the day, there was an animated series of that specific Spider-Man. And he had a watch that he would click it and the nanomachines would come out and become his suit. And it was super sick. I fucking loved it. From that point on, I was always in love with it. But then, and the Spider-Verse came out, which was a fantastic movie.
Oh, absolutely. I love that movie.
And because of that, it rendered more interest for Spider-Man stuff again, big time. Mm-hmm. And still Sony, because they make fucking, PlayStation and PS4 games, they just backed fucking Marvel, which... And Insomniac, again, as we talked about this on stream the other day, but Insomniac back to fucking Spider-Man shit, picking up after the greatest one, Spider-Man 2 from Treyarch.
Yeah.
They took that same swinging mechanic system and they made it almost as good, if not slightly better. It feels so good. I don't know if you've played the original 2018 Spider-Man, but
I played like a demo.
Ooh, what I don't like about this, if it does come out, the problem with me with the original was you had your base game, right? Yeah. And then they made 4 extra episodes that were DLC, or 3 extra episodes that were DLC. They weren't super critical to the main story because it takes place after it, but it did extend that world building a little bit. But it did bother me that they were it was episodic. It was like the Final Fantasy shit.
Oh yeah.
The remake came out and you only get Midgar. That's it. Yeah. You gotta wait for the other parts, which really bothered me.
Which I thought they were gonna talk about in the launch, but they didn't. We'll talk about that later.
It'll probably be the end of this year that we'll hear something maybe holiday season about the next FF7 stuff.
Yeah. So Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out holiday 2020. Which is pretty soon. The next thing they talked about was Gran Turismo 7.
Ooh.
And, honestly, I've never been... We talked about this, I think, in our first episode, but I've never been super big into racing games. Or just car-centered games. It's 7, by the way, so fucking 6 other Gran Turismos before then. And I will admit, it looks really, really pretty. It looks very,
so good, dude.
Very polished, very clean, but... I mean, in my fucking humble opinion, it's a Gran Turismo game. There's going to be a campaign. You got to buy cars. It's the same shit. I feel, personally, I don't have a deep connection with racing games. So, to me, it's just, okay, just another Gran Turismo game, whatever.
Tell you what, I know, so, just to bring this back around to Gran Turismo, but, so 2020, as shitty as this year is, I'm kind of making this a year for me to try new things. We're doing the podcast. I'm actually making a schedule for my stream. At some point this year, I actually want to start working on music. When this came out, I put another thing on my list. I want to get a racing, console.
You mean like a wheel?
Yeah, a wheel and a gear shift just for this fucking game. Because it looks so good. And I used to have one for one of the Forza games way back in the day for the Xbox, and I really did like it. It made you feel a little bit more immersive when playing the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's a tool that would really, really assist with just feeling.
I just hope that this game isn't as complicated as far as just wanting to drive what you want to drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
I understand working up to get to that point to, do this, do that, and your currency and whatever, but as long as it's not far from my grasp of having fun, of attaining that ideal fun that I see myself playing Forza or Gran Turismo in, then I don't know if I'll really be invested in it, but I do want to try that. I do want to get a wheel for it because it looks so good, dude. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it looks great, but personally, it's just not for me. Like, racing games are racing games, and I feel that racing games in general, regardless of what series or what franchise, always will lack depth just because of the sheer fact of what it is. You know?
What if it was what if on this press conference they announced a Initial D racing game?
I play the fuck out of that
PS5.
Because I mean,
so that
yeah. It's just the difference between like Initial D versus, which is a series that I know, versus Gran Turismo, which is, I had Gran Turismo 3 on the PlayStation when I grew up, and that's about it. And I played a couple Burnout games, but Burnout is like a completely different franchise. Like that's about crashing cars and fucking.
Yeah, it's very chaotic.
Yeah, it's chaos involved. But I feel like Gran
it's
Turismo
realistic, but it's too tame for you.
That's it's too corporate. I think for me, like the whole. Yeah, it's too tame. I guess. Why?
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next up on the list is, let's see, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yes.
A new Ratchet and Clank game made by Insomniac.
Futuristic furry simulator.
Okay, so I wrote these notes as I was watching it, and my opinion may or may not change based on what you think about it. I said, looks clean, also uninspired.
Yeah,
Did you feel anything while you were watching it?
No, to be honest with you, I couldn't really follow. I mean, I understand that it's like time loops and time is like breaking and shit, but I mean, it didn't seem like it really had a purpose other than stopping it. I mean, it looks fantastic.
I don't know if it's so much about time as it is like multiverse. Like being able to break through different worlds and fucking in the demo they showed, like, you had this weird fucking grappling hook that allowed you to make quick transports over, you know, whatever amount of feet or whatever. You could fucking like pull the world to you.
I think it hopped into it without any, like, the wrong way. Like, it didn't have any exposition to it.
You felt like it sort of just threw you into whatever kind of world building that they were making with no context, and then you were left to kind of figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But Ratchet and Clank isn't that kind of game.
No, it's not. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to have an opinion on Ratchet and Clank because I didn't play a whole lot of those games as a kid, nor did I do the last one that came out for PS4, which I heard got amazing reviews because it got a fucking movie, dude. I don't know if you saw the Ratchet and Clank movie.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a good bit. But I mean, it's I don't see a point to it. You know what I mean?
No, I understand completely. I think, even honestly in the fucking the trailer that I watched, it looked. I mean, technically speaking, the graphics looked good, but there were lots of cuts. I think like lots of cuts and weird jumps and lots of weird video errors with the game. Only when you were jumping from world to world. So I think that's an issue with the console that wasn't fixed before trailer time because it was very noticeable while I was watching it. Every time that
the textures, they changed.
Yeah, it's like there were weird like pauses and fucking stutters while it was.
Oh yeah, you
going.
can tell. I'm looking at it right now. You can tell. There's cuts.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, that's a cut. That's not fluid. That's not real time. Right.
So, yeah, I was watching that. I'm like, it doesn't look very polished for a release yet, or like a trailer. I can understand like maybe I would have been fine with just a demo, honestly, just a quick little, I don't know, minute long or 45-second long demo of like, here's what it looks like, here's the core gameplay mechanics.
I can't tell if that's gameplay or if it's just
like, you know,
pre-rendered.
Pre-rendered shit. I'm not sure, honestly. I would need to look at PS5 gameplay of it or watch somebody else or play it myself.
As of right now, I don't really have that much of an opinion on it, other than the fact that here goes the furry community again.
Yeah, especially because the fucking introduction of the female
the gender
Ratchet or whatever, white gender.
I have already seen
me too.
loads and loads of fucking etchy Rule 34 shit.
It's like,
dude, literally
an
hour after. So there's this artist that I follow. His name is Afro Metal Meezy, dude.
Yeah.
Not even an hour after this shit, and he drew up like the most lewd shit of that character, and I'm like, dude, people already
relentless.
Holy shit, dude, he snapped into place real fucking fast,
man.
dude. I'm still fucking scratching my chinny chin and rubbing my belly and doing all this shit, and
yeah,
I don't know.
But all right. Anyway, yeah, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. There was no release date on it yet. I'm assuming it's going to come out next year. The next one they advertised was a Square game, Project Athia.
Yes, my
looks
my girlfriend
really
actually
fucking good, dude.
It does look.
It
good,
looks
but
gorgeous.
Keep in mind, this looks pre-rendered as fuck. I do not trust it.
Oh no.
It looks like an introduction to the game.
Yes.
The fact that it's Project Athia, it doesn't have a real name yet, is kind of a bit sketchy, but it looks wonderful. I can tell that maybe some of this is gameplay.
No, I don't think there was any gameplay.
It says it has one of those disclaimers at the bottom where it says PlayStation 5
dev kit or whatever.
Development footage shown subject to change.
Yeah.
So as cool as it looks, that shit may look drastically different. So I'm not gonna put any hopes on it. It looks amazing. I hope it stays the same because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. That's all I can say about it. There was no gameplay, no release date, nothing like that. Just a what's it called? A fucking a teaser.
Squeenix back at it.
So next is a game that I don't know what to think about. Or think of. It's called Stray, developed by Blue 12. This one was kind of strange, so I would need a little more info to actually make like a educated opinion on it.
Who is this studio?
Blue 12 made.
Blue 12.
What the fuck did they make? I don't know. What was? I feel like they made something that was.
Wow, this looks cool though. I'm really digging it though.
Yeah, so it's like a robot, what's it called? Like a robot game where in the trailer there was like a cat that looked to have some sort of cybernetic augmentation on it or something like that.
An apparatus.
Yeah, and was like walking around and none of the robots were like looking at it or anything like that.
This is Robots the movie, the game. You remember that movie?
Yeah. What a terrifying fucking Jesus. What a fever dream that movie was. You know, I watched that movie not too long ago to like get a hint of nostalgia, and it was really shit.
I would love to fucking watch it again just so I can hear Robin Williams' cringy fart jokes.
Man.
The very beginning of it where he's taking pictures of him and he's like, yes, big anime eyes, yes.
Oh, fat robot ass.
Fat, thick robot ass. It looks interesting. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
I hope that this is in-game
footage.
Yeah.
Me too, because it looks good. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks very interesting.
I like how every robot's face is just BMO.
Yeah, and I like how the robots were like doing everyday shit too. Like the one dude was in a barber and getting his shit like tuned up or whatever.
Yeah. It's really cool. It for some reason, without like the neon shadows on it, if you took all the robots out and just had the cat, it looks very Tokyo Jungle-ish.
It does.
You ever play that?
No, I've seen it, but I have not played it.
Yeah, it looks very Tokyo Jungle-ish.
Okay, so let's see. Blue 12 made Stray. All right. So next they had like a weird. It wasn't weird, I guess. It was. They showed like the specs of the PS5. Not the specs, but just, you know, advertising shit. They said, here, I'll read you everything that they wrote. Okay, they wrote PS5 4K Ultra Blue ray tracing. Well, I know ray tracing. I don't know what the other one is.
Ultra Blu-ray?
Ultra Blu-ray ray tracing.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Sure. Ultra high speed SSD. Haptic feedback, adaptive triggers. This is controller. USB-C port, which is the same. No, because the PS4 controller I'm holding it right now has a micro USB on it.
Wait a second. Does the console only have one USB port?
No, it has two in the back, I think.
Okay, God bless. I was gonna say that's the death of fucking FGC games.
Yeah, for real. USB-C port on the controller, built-in microphone on the controller, which is interesting.
I don't know. I don't trust that, dude.
I don't trust
I
it
don't know
either.
how
I feel like
work.
it's. I mean, built-in microphones are historically really shit. 3D
Yeah,
audio.
Connect.
And a personal note is I fucking hate the way the controller looks.
Really?
I think it looks like absolute dog shit.
If it was all black, I think I would like it more.
I think.
But I'm not really feeling this white and blue and black vibe.
Yeah, I think like I agree. I think if it was all black, I would be a little more not suspect to hating it because every other controller that PlayStation has had, like a default controller, has been black, so it looks more natural. Mm-hmm. But when they switch it to this weird compound looking fucking like, it looks more like an Xbox controller than it does a PlayStation controller, which I think is the most off-putting thing about it. The buttons, I think, they have like a gloss plastic over them that you press down, but looking at it, it doesn't look like that. It looks like you press the buttons into the controller. Like the buttons are aligned, they're parallel with the rest of the controller, and you depress them into the controller, which is awful, by the way. Like, if it's actually that, then that's terrible, because then they get stuck way easier. But if not, then I'm assuming it's standard to every other fucking controller ever.
Right.
And it's not like that. But yeah, so just some specs for the PS5. I mean, I don't know, man. It looks weird. I don't like how it stands up straight, how they keep advertising it standing up straight, because every other PlayStation console has been sat down on its side.
You lay it down.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming is how everybody's going to use it, because it's a huge fucking waste of space if you put it up right like that. Mm. It looks ugly too, like if you put it up right like that.
It looks like a fucking router. I hate it.
I think it is a router.
It's just a glorified router. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just all it does is connect to the internet. Nice. It actually doesn't play games. I do like I do like how the CD slot is a little more pronounced on the console as opposed to the PS4. It's not like I've ever had trouble finding the slot to put the disc in, but I do like how it's flush with the rest of the console now. I think it is a little more attractive that way. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have any other complaints about it. I think, honest opinion, I think the controller and the console are both trying way too hard to look new. You know? Does that make sense? Like they're
trying to look very chic.
Yeah, they're looking
slick.
Exactly, they're trying to look very futuristic, and I'm not vibing with it a whole lot.
It just looks like a fucking like cheapo Mad Catz controller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like super embellished, and it looks. I don't know, man. Some parts of it, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of clean, and then other parts, I'm like, why is it like that? Why are the bevels going over the fucking rest of the console?
You know what's gonna sell me on it if they do a specific version of the controller? They give it that transparent case.
Oh, baby. I love that.
Let me see the guts, baby. Let me get up in them. Let me get up in them guts.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. I think it may just be that I'm not ready for something like this, I guess. I don't know, man. Because when you look at it, all the other shits that have come out recently have been something that I've expected to come out, I guess. Like, the Switch doesn't look too fucking weird. The PS4 looks totally normal. It looks like something I could have bought like 5 or 10 years ago. But the PS5 looks like something that I would have in the year 2050. Not something that I would have in the year 2020. I don't know. It looks too new, you know? You never want to fucking have that.
It looks like you know those like concepts of like those futuristic self-driving cars that you always see.
That's what it looks like.
You never actually see them IRL. You just see like concept pictures of them.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like to me. It looks like something that shouldn't exist because it's too far ahead of its time. You know what I mean?
No,
it also just looks like it looks like an Alienware PC.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like an Area 51.
It was developed in Area 51.
It was developed. This is what they were hiding from us.
During this whole like reveal thing, there was an actual quote from a Sony employee who said, there will be a paradigm shift on what players expect from gaming. I wrote that quote down, and I annotated "yikes" right next to it. because because that is probably the most overzealous, not correct thing you could ever say on. I don't know, man. Like, you can't. The PS5 isn't gonna fucking redefine what gamers expect, because expectations are always rising.
It's gonna turn the gays straight and the straight gay.
Yeah, I heard that and I'm like, what? I literally had to like pause for a second. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? Did he just imply that the PS5 will make gamers, the whole demographic of gamers, now they will no longer stand for subpar shit? Everyone always, no matter what, won't stand for subpar shit. And we have shown that constantly whenever a fucking game gets released and it's bad. We call it out for being bad, so on and so forth. ETC, the cycle continues. You can't fucking make a goddamn console and then just say like, oh yeah, after this shit, yeah, this is the breaking point here. Like, if there's anything worse after this is when people are going to start standing up and saying, hey, wait, this is bullshit. It's like
always a crock of shit, dude, because it's like, well, you're gonna release another PlayStation, like,
yeah,
what are you trying to end world hunger with the next one? I don't understand.
I don't know. I think
you think you can, because you made this chic ass looking futuristic ass fucking PlayStation, that you can dictate the fact that it will change gaming forever. No, you know who else said that? The guys who made the Kinect. How well did that fucking work out?
Yeah, every motion, dude. I swear, man. Every
the only ones who did that and made it work was the fucking Yoshida brothers knocking on my fucking door saying, "We would like to play. We would like to play." And then you're like, "Oh yeah,
I'm playing
Wii
tennis.
Sports." You hear foul ball, and you're like, hell yeah, foul ball, let's go.
You're like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means,
but I use
stick to hit ball. Big old beard, dude. Fucking dehydrated.
Fucking what was that boxer's name? Mike? It was Mike, right?
Yes, Mike, the black guy, right?
Yeah, he was just
the black guy
god tier at every fucking sport.
He looks like my dad. Yeah, yes.
Every hit was a home run. He just beat the shit out of me in boxing.
But I mean, like, yeah, they that's not you.
I don't know. I just thought that was super cringe, so I wrote it down.
That shit is big, like, smells like fucking big dick energy that should not be there.
Yeah, it smells like smelly dick energy. So next is
dick.
A extremely interesting game that I am super interested to see how it turns out. It's called Returnal. It is a third-person shooter, and it is made by Housemarque. So it's a game about just remembering off the top of my head. I don't have notes on what it was, but I remember pretty well what was advertised. It was a game where you play a woman who crash lands on a planet and dies, and then it's like a death loop for her. So she crashes, dies, and then rinse and repeat. Like, she goes back in time and keeps living out the same shit, except the whole thing is like, oh, each time she crashes and dies, a part of her, conscious or whatever, gets consumed by the planet, and it starts becoming the only thing that she knows, or whatever. Like, she starts to lose her memories of what she used to be and her family life and shit like that. And of course, the fucking planet is inhabited by monsters that want to, like, alien monsters that want to fucking tear her up and destroy her shit. And she's also equipped with, like, fucking big ass guns, and she wants to tear.
Do you know what this looks like to me?
What does it look like?
In the cutscenes, not the gameplay per se, but the cutscenes, the way the suit looks, the planet.
It looks like Death Stranding.
I was about to say, it looks like it plays like Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And like the premise of the monsters and stuff like that, like the BTs. But it reminds me of Prometheus, dude. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember Prometheus.
It was the prequel to the Alien movies. It reminds me of that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be a fucking Death Stranding game. Well, no, there's another game down here that we'll talk about.
Yeah, when I looked at it and started to watch it before that, like the title card came up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I don't know who the fuck these people are. And then I looked at it more. I'm like, oh, is this Koji Pro?
Yeah.
Did Koji Pro help with this, or? Because it looks very Death Stranding inspired, I think. I just hope. I hope. See, the thing about it is the gameplay parts of this trailer, they look kind of rough.
Yeah, some parts
your
of it.
movement, it looks a little stale. It looks very Mass
Looks
Effect-y as
slow.
far as your movement. Very slow.
I hate slow.
The whole, it looks like she's. Have you ever seen people hack like Doom and zoom the camera out?
Yes.
And then they can still move around.
Yes.
That stiff movement in their legs because they're not really supposed to see that.
Yeah.
That's what this movement and this gameplay looks like to me. It looks very stale. It looks very Mass Effect 3 multiplayer-esque animations for walking, for moving, for everything. I do like the whole premise of it. Super fucking sick.
I like the world
I like the way
building.
that
The
the
world
planet
looks great.
looks. Yeah, the planet itself looks great. The enemies, holy shit! Like
Looks scary.
it looks good. But yeah, I'm definitely getting that Prometheus vibe from this.
No, for sure. Okay, so Returnal and weird shift in mood right after Returnal was fucking Sackboy, a big adventure.
Yes.
All sumo
He's
digital.
not dead. He's not dead.
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Cranet.
Little Big Granite. Back again with it's the same shit that it's been doing. Every Little Big Planet has capitalized on the things that the last one suffered at and didn't do quite as well. So, I mean, they've progressively been getting better and better.
Hey, but this one's not a side scroller.
It is not. It
It's
is a three-dimensional overworld.
yes.
Many different challenges, up to 4 people. It looks like can play possibly more. I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks great. And
I want to know if there's still. Obviously, this is probably a yes, but I want to know what the community, the creative community, is going to be like. What are the options that they can get? Because I know that was the whole point of Little Big Planet, man. Making shit, uploading shit, having people play your shit. I mean, that's where the infamous autism teaching lesson from Chris Chan came from. Without that, I would be lost. I would have no idea what it's like to have autism in high school and not have a sweetheart.
And now I know.
You know what I mean? And now I know.
Yep. So that's pretty much it for Little Big Planet. Just a quick little recap. We all know it's a good game.
It looks
so
like
I'm not
Sackboy's version of Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, a little bit. So right after that was Destruction All Stars, which I could not tell what the fuck I was looking at in the first, I don't know, maybe like 20
I thought
seconds of
it
the
was a nicer looking version of what was it? Monday Night Combat.
game. Yeah. No, yeah. At first I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's so many. What is happening? And then
What's with all these hipsters?
it was made by Lucid. Looks fun. I don't know. It just looks like a typical fucking brawler.
What's with all these metrosexual race car drivers?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a high list of profiles and categories that
It
people
looks
fall
like
under
it's
here.
trying to be like Twisted Metal.
A little bit, a little more tame, I think.
Blowing
than
shit
that.
up. But you can get out of your car
Yeah.
and you can fight
That's what
other
I
people.
yeah I saw
as
that. And I'm like,
well.
oh okay, this actually looks kind of new and refreshing.
I just don't see what the premise is. Is it just an online only? Is it?
I think so.
It's Rocket League with destruction.
Uh,
It's Rocket League and
It's
Burnout together.
It's just Rocket League. That's all it is. It's Rocket League 2.
Yeah, but you turn the cars into balls and then you hit them.
Just throw a ball in there. It's Rocket League.
It looks great. It really does. It looks fantastic, but I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
here.
there's a
I don't
lot.
know
There was a
the
lot of
premise.
shit. I was really confused. Like
I
for
don't
half of it, I'm
know
like, what the fuck is happening?
How they're winning? How they're doing anything?
I'm not sure. It may be like a VR.
God no, dude. A racing VR? Can you imagine?
No more
Fuck.
VRs, please.
Dude, dick
So
soft.
right after was a game that I am really, really excited for. It's called Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Very cute looking. It's made by Ember Lab. And based off the trailer, this shit looks like a fucking movie, dude. Like the cutscenes and stuff are absolutely gorgeous. They even showed gameplay, and the gameplay obviously doesn't look as good as the cutscenes, but it still holds up astoundingly well to what the cutscenes were advertising. As so far as actual plot, I'm not quite sure. It looks very Ghibli-esque in terms of plot style.
Holy shit.
I'm not sure. It looks gorgeous, and I can't wait for it.
Wow, dude. Has anybody looted this girl yet, or what?
She's like fucking. I don't know, man. Probably.
There's no rules on the internet, dude.
There is
It
no
looks
rule.
very Ghibli-esque. I tell you what, the lush environment reminds me of like Unraveled.
Yes, it does. I love the environment. I think that's my favorite
The
part
green,
about it.
oh man, it looks really cool. It looks very like Last Guardian-esque,
Yeah,
but
like
with color, with
Ori,
more
Blind
saturation.
Forest, Last Guardian.
Yes, Ori. Yeah, Ori.
Yeah.
Ori, less styled, more realistic coloring. It appears to be an open world. I assume it's an open world RPG.
Probably like a RPG puzzle type game, something like that.
Zelda Breath of the Wild-esque type
sort of.
gameplay.
I wouldn't go that far to say like open world ended, but it's probably more linear than Breath of the Wild. But I mean, it shares a lot of.
It shows a lot of different areas, so I assume either it's linear in the way that it pushes you to different sections of the story as the arcs go, or it's open world where you can go back to these places at any time that you want.
Yeah.
But it looks fantastic. I do like the very folklore, mystical looking esque art design they went for the enemies. It looks fantastic.
I love
and
it.
these little suts with eyes and fucking arms, these Ghibli suts.
Yeah, I love them. They're very cute.
They're fantastic. They're very cute. They're gonna be the next Minions. I'm calling it.
Oh god, I hope not. So next up is a game that I think called Goodbye Volcano High, made by Co-op, a studio that I have not heard of.
Mm-hmm.
This game was first of all, I don't even know if it's a game or not. I think it may be a fucking visual novel. It could be a fucking, I don't know, show or a movie or something.
Oh no, dude, more furry shit.
Dinosaur game.
Dude.
I mean, the notes that I wrote, I'll read them for you. I wrote co-op, dinosaur game, good animation, 2021, really strange.
Life is Strange, but the dinosaur version. I'm gonna be honest with you, this shit looks kind of cringe.
I know. I didn't want to say that specifically while I was watching it. I'm like, man, this. That's why I said look really strange, because I just don't know what to pin on it. You know, usually you can label a game pretty quick. Like when you are watching a trailer.
You want my take on this?
Sure.
So I see here that they're burning a book that says Goodbye Volcano High.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my take on it. Here's my premise of it.
Okay.
If I was gonna just guess this story straight up, these girls somehow find out that the meteor that's gonna hit the Earth and kill them all is gonna happen on this day, and they find this book that's in their yearbook that tells them, and they know all this information, but they're not sure they should tell anybody. So through this whole ordeal of them fighting with each other, they decide to burn the book for good and leave it up to fate when they're gonna die. So all that shit. So
I don't think that's it.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I bet you $20 when it comes out, it's gonna be something about them dying imminently.
I mean, that's what I thought too at first. I honestly did think that.
The final quote of the fucking video is, "It's the end of an era. Suck my ass." You can suck my ass. I'm getting that $20 in 1 year.
All right.
1 year from today.
All right.
$20
Fine.
in my pocket. I will. This is gonna go on the internet. It's there forever. I will quote this. I will bring it back.
I will PayPal you $20 if that's what the plot turns out to be.
20 fucking.
But if it's anything else, I get $20.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm not making it a fucking Etika bet where I have to make you eat my nutsack sandwich. You fucker.
All right. So next is Oddworld, Soulstorm.
Yes. Can I talk about this?
Sure. Go ahead. I know nothing about Oddworld, so it's all you, bud.
When I first started to get into the video games on my PlayStation 1, Oddworld was one of the first games I got. I got Gran Turismo, I got Driver, Metal Gear Solid, and Oddworld. I played Oddworld. It was co-op. I played it with my sister. It's how as it is in this trailer, side-scrolly. It's a side-scrolly murder puzzle simulator, pretty much. You can die over and over and over. The objective for these games is usually save as many people as you can, make them follow you, and have them survive all the way through this puzzle. And that's usually what the objective is. But with this game, so the E3 trailer for this came out, I don't know, 4 years ago? Really long time ago. Completely forgot about it. the premise of it originally were these creatures that Abe is the main character.
Right.
They were enslaved by these people. Well, not enslaved, but they were working in this factory making food and drinks for this company, not knowing that the food and drinks were made out of them. They were getting killed and reprocessed as food and getting sold throughout the galaxy.
Jesus.
And he finds out about it, so he tries to free all of his friends, all of the other creatures that are like him, and in an attempt to escape and not deal with these fuckers anymore. But throughout the games, he's constantly being chased down by them because he saved them. He's like the savior.
Right.
And I'm assuming what this game is that they finally catch up to them. And it's super fucking sick. Super excited for it. It looks fantastic. Still side-scrolling, so still sticking to that style of gameplay. Thank God, because I don't know what I would fucking do if they just made it something different. The story for this one, I'm not too sure. It's once again focused about Abe saving other people like him, but she says the old tribeswoman in this said that Abe needs to find his voice. Abe doesn't talk really.
Right.
He can't really talk at all. He can talk, but the only things that he can say and has said in his other games is when he's talking to his other his little creatures that are like him. He's like hello, and then he goes, follow me, and they say okay, and then that's it. That's
okay.
that's the most dialogue that you get out of him. But I'm super excited for this shit, dude. I got home from work. I didn't get to see the conference, but I got to catch up on all the trailers, and I saw this, and I was gushing to Rachel, dude. I was like, this is fucking it. I completely forgot about this game. But I'm super excited.
Dude,
super excited
yeah.
to see what it is. I was super hyped that the train conductor in the trailer said, holy shit. I was like, it's popping off. We're going. It's it.
Oh, yeah,
it's
dude.
here.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know much
Yeah.
about Oddworld, but I'd be willing to give it a shot.
Oh, definitely. If it's co-op, we should definitely give it a
Alright,
try.
for sure.
It's such a fun co-op game.
Okay, so next was Bethesda with an unexpected title, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo. I can talk about this one too. So the same year that they had announced Fallout 76, right? They had also announced at their press conference this game, Ghostwire Tokyo. The woman in charge of it at the time, I think her name is Iku Nakamura or something like that. The cute Asian girl that everybody was memeing about. You remember that?
Yeah.
So she I'm pretty sure she left. She left to go do other stuff. I know currently right now she's working with Platinum to make the next Okami game with Hideki Kamiya, which is super sick. And I would love to see what she designs in that. But this was originally her baby. So when we saw it at the Bethesda conference a couple years ago, it was just CG. It was no gameplay. It showed you various kinds of enemies, ghoulish type of figures in Japanese mythology, sort of. And it was really spooky, really cool. When I saw this, I was pretty hyped for it. The thing that bothers me about it, it seems too bright. Right off the bat, it's supposed to be
Very
spiritually
doom and
ghost
gloom.
spooky. If you go to the first 12 seconds of the trailer, you can see that when he's looking at the skyline, everything's lit up. Nothing's dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not that spooky. But then you go into other cutscenes that show little creatures and stuff and the little glitches, and it's very dark, but overall the tone of this game is a lot brighter and less scary than initially thought. The enemies look cool. If you're a weeb and you like Tokyo shit, you like fucking Japan
I'm
and
play the
whatnot,
fuck out of this game.
you can play the fuck out of it, obviously. The thing that I noticed in this, other than the fact that there's really cool effects and transitions, the enemies. You see the same 3 enemies throughout the whole fucking
Yeah. I noticed
trailer.
that. There was the same of the fucking the hat guy, Slender Man looking dude.
And I don't want it to fall. You have to know what I'm talking about. With these Japanese companies, sometimes fall into this loop where it's repetitive. Fight the same 3 enemies for a while and then hit the boss, and the boss will also summon the same 3 enemies to fight alongside with them.
Yeah.
And it's a constant rush of, it's like Dynasty Warriors shit on a smaller scale.
Right.
A lot of Japanese companies fall into that shit. Even if you play any a Ninja Storm, some of the Ninja Storm games have you fight just random grunts and shit until you can fight the actual character, and there's no real relevance to the story at all. And I hope that's not what happens to this game. I really hope there's more variation between enemies in this game, because of the 3 that we see the most, they're really cool. They're really cool looking enemies.
Oh, for sure.
The glitchy shit, I love it. The fact that it's first person,
yeah.
Don't know. Make the game darker and then talk to me. Make the tone of it a little darker and make the visual appearance of it seem darker. I know Tokyo is like, it's very populated. There's lots of lights and shit. But there are scenes where it is pretty dark. There's one scene about like a minute into there where I'm assuming it's like a storage mall or the first floor of storage, and there's like a red light showing shadows of like kids running across.
Yeah.
That shit, that's a very spooky vibe. I can get down with that. If the whole game looked sort of similar as to that, cool. And then this fucking ghost whatever in the raincoat that summons the other 2 bland fucking generic ass fucking enemies. I really hope that's not something, because you see that in a lot of games too. Really... Like you see that, like the first thing I can think of is fucking Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has an enemy like that.
I mean, like that's like the entire game.
Like you and then once you kill that guy, then none of them spawn. But until you kill that fucker, they'll keep going.
Yeah.
The whole what are those red gates called?
Zen gates or the
Zen gates. Yeah, the Zen gates. Those parts of the trailer look fucking fantastic, dude.
Oh, that looks sick.
What I'm assuming the premise of the game is that maybe you're like an exorcist or something, and you're trying to get rid of all these ghosts that are killing people or making people disappear.
Right.
Because that was the initial trailer, the CG trailer. It was literally just pans of different parts of Tokyo, and people were like disappearing, but their clothes were laying on the ground.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That was a while ago.
That was this game, and this doesn't give off the same presence at all. It seems very empty. We'll see. Very open.
Hopefully they, I don't know, add some more shit in.
Those cool Oni Genji looking motherfuckers that hop off of the fucking Tokyo Tower, that shit's fucking cool. I love that. But yeah, pretty excited for it. I have yet to make like a full positive idea on it. There's a lot that I see here that looks really good, but there's a lot that I think needs work as far as the genre of this game goes.
Right. So, moving on, the next game was Jet, which, by the way, I didn't even... I hope I got the title right, because I couldn't fucking tell from the font what the fuck the game was supposed to be called, and I had to like pause it.
Yeah,
and kind
Jet, the Far Shore.
Yeah.
2 T's.
Just Jet. So, Jet Far Shore, whatever. So, made by Super Brothers, comes out this year. And there's not really much to go off of based on the trailer. I know it's very Interstellar-esque. Looks like a space/time travel type game.
It looks like a sepia-colored No Man's Sky with a Journey feel to it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically. I don't really have any opinion. It looks. I'm not sure. It's hard to make a guess on it. There's not much to go off
the
of.
initial opening of it reminds me a lot of Journey.
Yeah, music is good. The music was good.
Oh yeah, it's super good.
And the visuals are pretty clean too. But other than that,
yeah.
Next was Gearbox. They are releasing Godfall.
Ooh, yes.
A classic fucking beat 'em up fighting arena. Just some good shit.
Yes.
Excited
Randy,
for that.
The Magic Man
comes out this
Randy
year.
Pitchford delivered.
Hell yeah.
It looks cool. It looks sick.
Does look sick. Solar Ash. This game, made by Heartbeat, the same people who made Hyper Light Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
It looks sick as fuck and comes out next year.
Can I just gush a little bit of how much the art style of cell shading has evolved over the years. I mean, my favorite game of all time is Beautiful Joe. That is one of the OG cell shaded games, 3D cell shaded games. And from that to this, holy shit, does it make a fucking difference, dude? I can't imagine what this game would look like if you took the cell shading graphic settings off of it.
Yeah. This game literally looks like Hyper Light Drifter in a 3D space.
God, it looks so good. And there's like, you can see there's weird animations too that are mixed, that are definitely two-dimensional.
Yeah.
They're 100% two-dimensional animations in a 3D space, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the trailer is when the protagonist or the main character or whatever lands, and then she starts off like walking real fucking slow, and then she pick up speed to like a slight run, and then the fucking full speed is fast as shit, and it's like hell yeah, let's fucking go, dude. Fast games like that fucking turn me on, dude. I get fucking rock hard looking at goddamn like
goddamn, dude.
Fast paced.
She does
that
fucking Shadow the Hedgehog skate too. It's so fucking
holy
sick.
shit, I love it. It's my favorite part. I can't wait for that game. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I would love to see the fucking gameplay of that.
Next up is IO Interactive with the last Hitman 3.
Hitman 3.
January 2021.
Is this one not called Blood Money? It's just Hitman 3?
It's just Hitman 3.
Damn, that sucks, dude, because Blood Money was sick.
Man hits other man.
Man hitting
time.
101.
No, it looks clean. I mean, yeah, looks like a Hitman game.
Yeah, for a CG, I mean,
not much to say about it.
Agent 47, the original John Wick.
Yep, just coming to fuck more shit up.
It's just it's nothing much.
So the next one that they advertised is, I think, a demo. It's called Astro's Playroom. I think it's just a demo for the PS5.
Yeah, it's just another Playroom thing.
Yeah, developed by Japan Studio.
Skip it.
Little Devil Inside, developed by NeoStream. This game, while I was watching the trailer, I think this is the only trailer that made me laugh audibly because of its humor. I don't know.
It's so... I love the way that fucking the main protagonist looks, dude.
Yes, I love it too.
He looks so cartoony and so, I don't know. So
I love the
nice.
style. I love the art style. It looks great. I'm excited to see what the actual core gameplay is because, as far as I can tell, it looks like retrieval
Monster
missions.
hunting.
Like the dude gives you. I mean, the first scene is the main character going to the old guy's house or whatever, and he drops him like a fucking
bringing
animal
him
or
a
some
body,
shit. Body or whatever. And then the rest of the game is seeing the old guy like fucking living it up, and the main character fucking trudging through the wastelands and fucking fighting things and shit like that. But
I love that the landscape is as realistic as possible, but every creature, every person, everything that lives within it just looks cartoony. Yeah. It's amazing. It looks great. It's so weird. I wouldn't think that an art style like this would mesh very well with like realistic landscape. But fuck, dude, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very Professor Layton-esque if it were in 3D, but everything else is just realistic. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm excited to see more on it. So next up is, drum roll please, NBA 2K21.
Skip.
Who gives a fuck? Who the fuck cares? Not me.
Copy paste.
Don't care.
Copy paste.
Same shit, different game.
They're gonna put gambling in the game again and get away with it. So who gives a fuck next?
Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks.
By Young Horses. Okay, so I will tell you fucking what. As soon as the music started, I fucking lost it because it's my dream band, Caro Caro Bonito, in the trailer. Singing the main theme, right? I heard the fucking song start, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this sounds very. I'm like, but before the singing started, I'm like, this sounds very KKB-esque. And then singing started, I'm like, holy shit, it is KKB. What the fuck? And yeah, I lost my shit. So bonus points definitely for that.
Super wicked.
Game
cool.
itself kind of looks like dog shit. I won't lie. I'm not too excited about the premise of the game. It looks like. Basically, from what I remember, you are playing as... I'm not sure if you're playing as a person or a bug snack, but in any case, I guess the object of the game is to capture bug snacks, and at the end of the trailer, it looks like bug snacks can also be the enemy because they morph together or whatever to form a terrifying person-shaped bug snack. So, I don't know. If it's a joke game or a parody game, then... awesome, I'm excited for it. But if it's supposed to be like a real thing, then I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about it.
Let me tell you something. So This is made by the same guys who made Octodad.
Oh, okay, cool. Great.
So this game already is in good standing with me. Octodad was so fun.
Octodad was fucking funny.
Octodad looks like fucking shit, okay?
Yeah, but
in
it's
comparison to some of these other games that came out at the same time it did. But it's so fun. It's so addictive. It's so silly. It's so goofy. It's just a game you can play just to hang around and just chill out for a bit. I imagine this game will also have the same vibe, but it also looks like it's multiplayer, so it might be fun to play with some friends.
Hopefully.
It looks like the appeal to this is that it's just very, kooky and silly.
Yeah, just
and
kind
whatnot.
of a break. Because, I mean, fuck, we just got done watching, like, hella shit that was supposed to be serious, and I think Bugsnax was an interesting change of pace.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And then, again, we go from fucking... I think they slowly shifted. They had this weird dichotomy of this transformation shift for the launch that went from serious to somewhat kind of more silly, because they went from what? They went from GTA, Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, Ratchet & Clank, Project Athia, Stray, Returnal, and then it shifted to Sackboy, to Kenna, Goodbye Volcano High, Oddworld, and then it went back to Jet, Ghostwire Tokyo, Godfall, Solar Ash, Hitman 3, and then now we're going back again to Astro's Playroom, Little Devil Inside, fucking NBA is just a throwaway, and then Bugsnax. And then, for the last time, we returned to Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
Blue Point Games. Remastered.
Is there really much to say about it, though?
No.
Other than the fact that Blue Point is godlike and they always port games very well.
Yeah. I saw a tweet from Oni that made me a little, a reply, I guess, from Oni that made me a little skeptical about Demon Souls, this remaster, because the whole point of the first Demon Souls, right, was kind of along the same lines as Dark Souls. It's very doom and gloom. It's very not bright at all. But in the trailer for this Demon Souls, the sky is rendered. It's like a bright blue sky, and it's kind of weird, I guess. Doesn't really fit in very well with the rest of the game, because it's supposed to, be like a fucking, a sense of hopelessness. And how can you achieve a sense of hopelessness when the sky is shining bright blue and there's like a knight in front of you or whatever, a giant knight that you're fighting? I don't know. It's just something to think about. Maybe they'll brush it up, or maybe they'll fix it, or realize the setting.
That shit doesn't bother me at all, because you want to know why? Because most of this shit, it's probably going to change.
Yeah,
I guarantee you it's
probably
going to change.
It's just something that you should be thinking about before you put a trailer out, I guess. I don't know.
For sure. Yeah, but at the same time, even if that is the case and it does stay like that to launch, but the game is still amazing, who's going to give a fuck about it, dude? We're lucky we even got a Demon Souls.
That's true.
Remaster, dude. You know how long that game came out and how dead in the water it was? It was so dead in the water that they had to remake an entirely new series because they couldn't use Demon Souls.
Yeah, true.
It was lost in limbo, and we're lucky we even get to see it, so I'll take what I can get, dude.
Yeah.
Also, there have been people making rumors that this gives credence to the fact that there may also be a Bloodborne in the works.
I wouldn't go that far.
As well, either a second one or just a remaster of the original on next gen, which would be sick.
Oh, I'd love a remaster. That'd be sick.
Because Bloodborne, it was a launch title for the PS4.
Right.
And it would be nice to see it come back to life again on the PS5. That being my favorite of the Soulsborne games. I would really enjoy it. But yeah, I'm really excited for Demon Souls. I don't doubt at all that it's not going to be a joy to see and to play. I think it'll be pretty decent. I'm not going to hold it up to the standards that all these fucking big fucking smooth brain ass Demon Souls, Dark Souls losers that fucking hold everything to a grain of salt. That the slightest thing can ruin it for them.
Yeah,
I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is, because we're lucky we got it in the first place.
So right after Demon Souls is another Bethesda game, Deathloop, which is a term that we've used many times this podcast. But Deathloop looks super fun, and I'm very excited for it.
Here is my idea of it, because I watched this a couple times over, because I was super into it. So it's made by the same guys who made Dishonored. So if you like that kind of gameplay, you like the either option to sneak or the option to go all out, as well as the two-handed combat between using spells, effects, stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to be in this game, but obviously you're going to have two-handed shit like you would in like the BioShock games, in Infinite or BioShock 2. That was like their whole thing, momentum and stuff like that. If you've seen a speed run of Dishonored, you know how it goes.
Right.
It's very fast-paced. You know, you have a lot of options to do shit. The art style of it looks very Dishonored style mechanically. The way it looks visually looks like a mix between BioShock and Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks brighter.
Yeah,
than Dishonored does.
It looks. I thought it was gonna be like We Happy Few-esque stuff.
Right.
But that's only like the 70s vibe of it. The visually, it looks like for me a mix between BioShock and Wolfenstein. It looks like the gun that you have is a gun that like teleports them. It doesn't look like it kills them because their bodies instantly disappear. It also appears that the thing you have on your left hand is maybe something that you will cycle through the powers that you have. Let's see. The combat looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, for
dual-wielding
sure.
weapons. You don't have to have one weapon in your hand. There's also a weapon in here that you can combine into one gun. The two pistols that you have.
Right.
Looks super sick. The fact that it is an objective-based game, which is like Spy Party, but on a grander fucking scale because it's first person and there's a whole bunch of shit going on. I also like the fact that every time you die, things change, and you still have the same targets and shit, but you don't know who. Also, there's somebody hunting you, which is super sick, dude.
I like how they revealed that at the very end. They're like, oh, by the way, also there's someone else hunting you.
By the way, yeah, there's somebody trying to kill you to stop you from fucking achieving your goal, which is fucking wicked.
That's pretty cool.
They did not say that this would be online. They did not say it would be local co-op.
Yep.
They did not say anything.
Although online would be pretty cool if that's the case.
I hope it's really going to be a disappointment if there is no online capability for this game, because that is just wasted. That's wasted fucking a wasted game at that point. This is built to look and play like a 1v1 online
Oh, absolutely,
shooter.
for sure, dude. Because can you imagine this fucking game not online? You just do the same thing over and over again. You played the game once, you've played it like forever.
You've played it forever.
Yeah.
It's just. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I love the vibe of it. Love the weapons they showed off. Love the fact that it's made by the Dishonored guys. They're in good standing with me, so I am looking forward to Deathloop.
Absolutely. And next is Resident Evil 8 Village.
Ooh, let me talk about this.
All right.
Let me talk about this. So, way back in the day, well, not way back in the day, but when 3 came out, 3 Remastered, there was talks about a new Resident Evil, 2 new Resident Evils. So, the rumor is that there was leaks from this, and it was going to be 8. It had an 8 in it, and it was going to be called Village, and it was going to take place in a village. People thought that it was going to be Resident Evil 4 because it looked like the Spanish village from Resident Evil 4 that Leon is in. Turns out that's not the case. So now what people are pulling from the original rumor is that, okay, so the next one that they're going to do is RE4 remake. Which would be really cool. That's a whole nother fucking conversation to have about that. But 8 by itself. So what I was surprised about 8 is that the main character is Ethan from RE7 from Biohazard.
That's my guy.
You know, the boy who got his hand chopped off and then stapled back on like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he had that psycho girlfriend that was controlled by what's-her-face, the little girl / old lady.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the protagonist. I don't know why this motherfucker came back to fucking deal with these necrofied zombies again, but he's back. There must have been something between this game and the last game where him and Chris had an altercation of him deciding to do this kind of shit, because Chris did show up at the very end of the last game. It looks like this game has like the zombies in it, but there's also like a different kind of mutation of zombies. There's also other NPCs other than just your character. You're not the only
that's
fucking
right.
crazy person. There's an old guy who looks like he dies really early on. There's a younger guy.
I mean, they fucking
middle-aged guy.
revealed his death like in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah. There's a woman that pops up a few times. It seems like the landscape changes. There's an old guy who looks like Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it surprised me that there's other people actually in here. There's a crazy old lady. I'm sure she'll pop up. There's also a mansion area, which is fucking wicked. It is very parallel to what RE4 was. You know, you start in the village. There's also a mansion. There's a cult. In this scene here, where I'm assuming Ethan's on the ground, these ladies here are like the cult equivalent to what that church was in RE4, which is super sick, and it looks fantastic. The lighting looks fucking awesome. Also, lady in white dress has big titties, so plus. There's some fucking old guy who pops up with a beard. He looks like he might be important. Maybe he's an antagonist or somebody who helps you out. Maybe he's like the shopkeeper. I don't know. It looks like there's other like umbrella shit in here. There's also a guy who looks like a werewolf. So I assume that that's the new mutation. They're not just zombies anymore. There's like a separate T-virus strand mutation that's turning these people into like werewolf-esque shit. So it's taking a very Castlevania feel to it. And then at the very end, Chris Redfield, the one and only big boy who punched Boulder and Wesker into Volcano, is back.
The Boulder.
And local man Chris Redfield says, "I'm sorry, Ethan," and shoots a lady on the ground that was clearly alive.
Local Chris Redfield. Chris Redfield's a woman on the ground.
Dude, he looks bigger. He looks... No, I'm not saying like muscular. He looks fat. Dude.
He looks like a big boy.
But I am more than happy to see Chris back. Chris, of the original main characters, is my favorite. I love Chris. So... high hopes for this one. Hopefully it carries on the whole vibe from 7 to 8. I also hope that there's VR capability for it.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
VR for RE7 was fucking sick. It was super great. So I can't wait to get this on my hands. I can't wait to see people stream this, make videos of it, the whole shebang. But really excited for it. I was hoping that it would get announced today, and it did. So super excited.
Hell yeah. All right, so... second to last is Paragmata. I think it's pronounced.
Pragmata.
It's not Pragmata. It's Paragmata.
Pragmata.
Paragmata.
It's Pragmata. Pragmata.
But there's an A before the R.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is. I wrote it down.
No, there isn't. You spelt it wrong, you mother. I'm looking at the trailer right now, you dumb shit.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's Pragmata.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Also, this is a Capcom game. So, fuck you, everybody who wanted a fucking fighting game on next gen. Fuck you. Fuck Street Fighter 5.
An
Go back
additional
to
fuck
buying.
you.
Go back to fucking playing Anniversary Edition and buying all the 500 Chun-Li costumes and playing shitty netcode. Have fun with that. You get a fucking Death Stranding look space motherfucker. Deal with this kid who's like a cybernetic fucking child who makes shit. This whole trailer's all over the fucking
Yeah,
place,
I had
dude.
no idea what to think about this.
So, watching it back, I love the design of this suit.
Oh, yeah.
This astronaut suit looks fucking... The helmet, you know what the helmet reminds me of? It reminds me of Isaac Clarke's helmet in Dead Space 2.
It does, yeah.
It looks awesome.
I was trying to think
can only
about what the
imagine.
fuck it reminded me of because it, you know.
Yeah, how it opens up.
Looks
So this
so
thing that he
familiar.
pulls out, it looks like it can create things, and it's also a gun. It takes place in America. Obviously, this is like New York or something.
Right. Some shit. And then the whole fucking world explodes and fucking whatever.
Yeah, so the breaking point for this for me is when he gets the girl and the cat glitches and you see the building in front of them just warped,
Yeah.
like glitched out.
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then you see the sky and it's just a simulation. It's like a screen.
Yeah,
a projection.
exactly.
And then a fucking satellite from space breaks through it and you get sucked out into space. It was like they were in a bubble or something.
I don't fucking know.
I have no fucking... It looks dope, though. I really want to play this. It looks interesting enough for me to want to play it. It doesn't have that usual Capcom zing to it. It looks like something different. I hope that the designers and animators who worked on Dead Rising or Devil May Cry 5, because it looks like it may use the same engine as DMC5. It looks great. So I hope we get to see more gameplay of it in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
I would like to
hopefully
play
there's more shit about it, like more actual gameplay instead of.
We have to wait
trailers.
2 years for it though, because it comes out in 2022.
Yeah.
But I can wait for that.
Yeah, we'll see. Needs more info.
Yeah.
Lastly, the last game that they fucking announced was Horizon Forbidden West, which is a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. Yes. Did you play Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, I did not.
So this game is really fucking cool.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
premise of the first
honestly,
game,
dude, like when I was watching the fucking, I've seen gameplay of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I like the world building, but I feel like I would like the world building in this game way more. It looks,
why? Because it
looks
expands
cleaner.
more on the post-apocalyptic
Yes.
aspect. Yeah, you didn't see much of that. The whole first game was discovering this hidden world that was alive.
Right.
Before all of this shit happened, before the robots took over and shit and became sentient. That was the whole appeal to it. But now, ooh, man, I'm so excited for this fucking game, dude. I was always in love with the design of the mecha animals and the mecha dinosaurs and shit.
In contrast with the main character who has like primitive tools and shit like that.
Yeah. Aloy is a fantastic fucking character. Guerrilla Games, super fucking cool, dude. Without Guerrilla Games, we wouldn't have Death Stranding. Dead ass.
We wouldn't have Donkey Kong Country.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You didn't know that Guerrilla Games made Donkey Kong?
Oh, yeah, before they changed their name from Rareware. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Old Guerrilla Games.
This game looks fucking fantastic. I'm pretty sure they made an entirely new engine for it because it just looks so fucking good.
Did they?
Dude. It looks fantastic. They had to, dude. This doesn't. If you compare it to the engine that they made, so I say that without the first game, Death Stranding wouldn't exist because Guerrilla Games lent Koji Productions their engine that they used to make Horizon Zero Dawn for Death Stranding.
Okay.
And this already looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks clean.
Dude. It's up for fucking grabs if this is CG or if it's in game because even the first game looked amazing in game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's great. I think overall I would give also they released the or they advertised the PS5 digital edition, which has no CD slot and is only used for downloading games. Which I really like that alternative. I think that's the first time, isn't it, that any console company has ever done this, where they've made
usually it's through a streaming service that you can maybe download to your hard drive, a physical.
They've made a whole new console though, based on the original one that is only for downloading games.
But my question is that version of the console going to be cheaper?
Because I would imagine so. You're literally, because I imagine with the PS5 non-digital edition, you still have the capability to download games. So the only purpose of getting the digital edition would be to only download games and not have to buy actual discs and CDs and shit.
Physical.
To use space up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it probably has maybe the same amount, maybe more space in turn for a cheaper price, maybe. Because I don't know, some people like the novelty of buying a disc, and it obviously uses less space because most of the memory is stored on the disc. So I'm not sure. I would imagine it costs less, a cheaper version, because I've heard price inflations with the PS5 are pretty common.
I heard that this fucking originally this console was gonna be pretty expensive,
like $600 or something, right?
600 smackers, dude. Because that's the only way they'll turn a profit on it, dude. I mean, they're using some fucking high level fucking hardware to make this bitch. Like, they gotta make a profit off of it, dude. If it is that, then I'm just gonna wait for a slim version, dude.
Yeah, the PS5 Slim.
Yeah, PS5 Slim, dude. Slim gang.
Slim gang.
But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out here. A lot of little ones that
Little
They
gems.
didn't really mention, but there's no point to it. Like, who wants to fucking talk about My Heroes One Justice 2, dude?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Nobody gives a fuck
I
about
I would
that.
give this presentation. I would give it a. I'd give it a 7. 7 or a 6, maybe.
I'd give it a 6.
Yeah.
There's too many trailers here that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. They didn't convey a specific thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I won't say it was all over the place because having watched the whole thing from beginning to end, there was a clear path that they wanted to go. They took breaks when they wanted to show gameplay, and they introduced a staff or a team whenever they wanted to show gameplay. For instance, whenever they went over Ratchet and Clank, they showed a trailer for the game, followed by staff from Ratchet and Clank, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank is our baby. We loved whatever." And then they're like, "Here's a short gameplay demo," and then they showed a gameplay demo, and so on and so forth. That seemed to be the trend with all the other games that had gameplay demos attached to them. So I don't know. I think it flowed pretty well, although there were a lot of components within the actual presentation that seemed to be a little lacking. Like there needed to be more information on a lot of different subjects so far as the actual games that they were coming out with. Like a lot of them were just trailer, and then you were left to your own imagination with your own interpretation with the trailer. And that's not inherently a bad thing, but I think for some of the trailers, for instance, like Jet, I don't know what the fuck is going on at all, and that doesn't make me interested in your game. That makes me wonder what the fuck your game is about. I'm not.
That's when you use the correct term for that kind of trailer. It's a teaser. It's not a trailer. It's a teaser.
Right.
Okay. It's not a reveal trailer. It's a teaser.
Right. But yeah, some of them were like that, where it was more of a teaser than an actual trailer. Which, I don't know. I guess for a launch, teasers are appropriate, but I'm expecting to see more trailers, less teasers down the line, if that's the case.
So, all in all, what was the highlight for you? What was the
highlight? Oh, dude, probably fucking either Demon Souls or the Kenna Bridge of Spirits one, because I think those are the only two that made me feel anything when I was watching it. Oh yeah, and the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man Miles Morales was a pretty big reveal for me. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking sick. But that one, yeah, the Spider-Man, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and Demon Souls were probably the highlights for me.
All right. Okay.
Because I saw those and I genuinely felt like excited to play those games, and I was really enamored by by what I was watching, like the presentation.
That's
of
good. That's how you should feel after watching shit like that. That's what they should aim for.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Well, do you have any parting notes?
Fuck Capcom for not giving me a fighting game.
Fuck you, Capcom.
Fuck Capcom.
Eat my ass.
You motherfuckers. You just keep fucking me, dude. You keep fucking me, and you don't stop,
and they're
dude.
Just gonna,
your stamina is just fucking out of this fucking world,
they're gonna keep getting away with it, too.
Yeah, they just keep fucking me.
They can't keep getting away with this.
They can't. Somebody has to do something.
Somebody, please. Take Capcom down.
But yeah, all in all, the highlights for me were fucking Oddworld and Horizon Zero Dawn, and then finally RE8. RE8 is going to be my highlight for this one.
Hell yeah.
Demon Souls is up there, sure, but I mean, it's fucking Demon Souls. I've played that game before. It's just going to look nicer.
Yeah. I just like the fact that it was, there. It was present at such a big reveal.
Yeah, I like the fact that Sony didn't forget about it.
Because, Demon Souls, I think, in general, is a very underrated Soulsborne game that a lot of people don't even remember was a part of the series. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's in such a huge fucking spotlight as a PS5 introduction or reveal or whatever makes it more marketable to a newer crowd who wasn't around when Demon Souls came out.
Yeah. I'll trust it. Blue Point's done some good stuff. They really fucked over Marvel 3 when they ported it to PS4, but Blue Point also ported Metal Gear 1 or 2, 3, and Peace Walker to consoles. So they're 50-50 for me. So as long as it looks nice, plays nice, and it's very reminiscent of the original, I'm happy with it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that's everything.
That's
right?
all I got to talk about.
Okay.
Good little. That went way over what I thought it would be for sure.
Yeah, for real. We talked about it for a good bit. That's all right.
All right, that's
all right.
fine.
We're excited.
Whatever. Excited for this new reveal, and we'll have some new shit to talk about next week. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it very much. Tune in next week. Noah, do you have anything to say to the people at home watching?
No. Everything that you guys need to find us on the interwebs is in the description. We have our Spotify if you don't want to listen to or look at the video while you're doing whatever the fuck, whacking off. I don't fucking know.
Oh man.
It's in Spotify, so you can just listen to our voices if that's easier for you. Our Twitters are there. Our Twitches are there. I'm going to be a little bit more consistent in my scheduling. I'm actually going to have a legit schedule for streaming that I'm going to stick to. So if anybody wants to tune in, you can start. Probably next week I'll start on my schedule. But
I'm starting to. I think my new thing is I want to play the Pokemon randomizer on Fridays. So I play that only on Fridays, and I play anything else on any other day. Wednesdays and Thursdays, because those are my off days.
Right. Yeah, but that's
pretty much it.
Me.
I appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
See ya.